Hello and welcome back to episode 5 of My Team Career Mode on F1 2021. Today is the Canadian race, probably one of my strongest tracks on the game. And after last episode's heroics of getting a couple of points at Baku, we're hoping that we can go the one step further and maybe get a few more than 2 points. We'll try our best, but as you'll see in a little bit, might be a bit of an issue in the race. We're just looking through the facilities before we jump to the race weekend. Let's have a look at the standings. As you can see, we do have 2 points to the team name. We're sitting at 8th in the constructors and we're 14th in the drivers' standings. Oh, that's what I meant. A wet race is not what I want. Right, let's jump into practice. Let's get some practice done. With rain, it's difficult. It's a lot easier to race in rain this year than it was last year. Last year it was incredibly hard. We'll do our best. We'll try and qualify well because obviously I am quite strong at Canada. And we'll just see how the race goes. We might get a few safety cars. We might be able to push it onto some slicks, but I don't know. It does say it's going to be wet the whole race, so we'll have to just find out and see what happens. As we've got about 10 minutes left in our practice session, and then we'll jump into qualifying. Okay, so we're just going to put a maximum top speed setup on. It will obviously mean we can get up to the higher speeds a little bit quicker around Canada. And when there's no DRS because of the wet race, that's obviously what you're going to need to stay ahead of the AI cars and even make overtakes. As we go around turn 1 in our best qualifying lap, I cut out the first one, as you can see up the top left, lap 2. I don't really want to be fighting an AI car during qualifying, but we managed to go around the first sector 5 tenths up on our starting time. I'm not sure who that is behind me. 7 tenths up going through the first DRS straight, which is a good lap so far. We're in P22 after our banker lap. It wasn't really a banker lap. It was last. We're 8 tenths up going into the hairpin. Brake early, get around there, rotate the car quickly, get back on the accelerator. And we've got a long straight, hit the wall of champions with a little bit of aggression, but obviously we don't want to fly into the wall. Up to 205, 206 miles an hour. We go through the wall of champions. We don't get very close to the wall, so we wasn't very aggressive through there. We're 1.2 seconds up, and we puts us P16. Did we stay there though? Did we stay P16? Let's have a look. Hamilton got through in qualifying 1. We actually finished P19. So it's not the best qualifying time for us. We'll just have to try the best in the race.
Hello and welcome to the Ile Notre Dame once again for what promises to be another incredible Canadian Grand Prix at a fiercely competitive circuit, where pole position can often be decided by less than 1/10 of a second. It's a tricky circuit to tackle in wet conditions, with top speed still of critical importance down the long back straight. There are 2.7 miles and 14 corners overall on a circuit that in the dry can see average lap speeds of around 130 miles per hour. We'll be lucky to get anywhere near that today. Anthony Davidson is alongside me today, nice and dry up here in the commentary box. But how are you, Ant? Looking forward to the race?
I'm very well, thank you, Crofty. Forgot my umbrella on the way up to the box. I'm a little bit soggy, but I'll dry out soon enough. It's going to be an interesting race in this weather. Obviously your strategy changes completely once it starts raining, as overtaking is a lot easier in the wet. The focus moves away from pure aerodynamic efficiency and tyre management, and of course the driver themselves can always make more of a difference in these conditions than in the dry.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Sergio Perez and Sainz, Norris, Ricciardo, Gasly and Sebastian Vettel, Tsunoda, Stroll, Fernando Alonso and Ocon, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher and Christian Lundgaard. The owner driver, Russell, Latifi and Nikita Mazepin. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, strategy wise, I'm thinking about just doing the one stop, but hopefully the rain might clear up and we can get onto some intermediates. We'll start on wets and see how it goes. Let's get going as we hit 5 red lights and away we go. Obviously starting in P19 with both Williams behind us, as well as a Haas, I believe, of I think it's Mazepin. So we're going to go up the inside of Mick Schumacher here, and Lundgaard and Giovinazzi, and we're going to go around the outside of Raikkonen, Alonso, and can we hold on to Ocon? Bottas did actually spin out on that first corner. I didn't get a replay of it, but the Mercedes driver is behind us as we go down the final straight, well, the second from last straight on Ocon, go up the inside at turn 1 of lap 1, sorry, and get us into P12 onto the first lap. If I'd say so myself, it's probably one of the best opening laps I've ever done in the wet, as we are now chasing down the Aston Martin driver of Lance Stroll. Very hard to control the car in the wet conditions. We'll do our best to try and hold on to it, but the amount it twitches is a joke. So we're now on to lap 4. We've got Ocon right behind us. Unfortunately, Stroll started to pull away. He's 2.2 seconds up the road. We've got the Frenchman behind us, closing in as much as he can. A great turn from us. We do lose it a little bit, and Ocon goes through up the inside of us, as well as his teammate Fernando Alonso. As I did say, the car does twitch a lot. Kimi Raikkonen also makes it through. Is Lundgaard going to go for a pass, or does he know that I'm the fastest driver? He sits in behind us, which is great, and we have to take this, well, we have to go off the road a little bit because we mess up that corner. Now Lundgaard might go for a send up the inside of us, as we are now a second away from the Finn up ahead in P14. Like I say, it's not easy driving in the wet.
But there's no question that the track is dry. We might be in a position.
We're now chasing back down on the Alfa Romeo driver. Both South Booth Races drivers are pinched in by Alfa Romeo, Giovinazzi and Kimi. Lap 6. And as you can see, Raikkonen and Alonso have pulled away now. They're both about 2 seconds ahead of me. I'm just going to try and keep the pace, try and get into a rhythm, and if anything, practice on the wet, sorry. As we do set a green sector, 5 tenths up on our fastest time. I don't know if that means there's less water or more water. We haven't actually gained any time on Raikkonen, so it means that he's also improving. As we all have a little twitch there, we almost lose the car. As we head up towards the hairpin, we are 3 tenths up on our best lap time. The hairpin's not great, we broke a little bit late there. Lundgaard's 6 tenths behind us, but he made 2 tenths going around the hairpin. Now going down the final home straight. Through the wall of champions. We took that, well, we cut it a little bit, but we took it kind of fast. How good of a time is this going to be on our best lap? 7.81
Strategy
tenths.
is available on the MFD.
I don't know if that's the right way to say it. We're now on lap 9 and we are 5 seconds behind Kimi, so he's obviously just put his foot down and pulled away. We've now got Bottas right up behind us as there's a yellow flag through the War of Champions.
Yellow flag.
It looks like an Aston Martin driver, and the safety car has been deployed.
Of an incident which has resulted in lots of loose debris on the
We're
track.
going to go straight
The safety
into the
car is
pits
being
here
deployed. Drop.
because I feel like my tyres are wearing a little bit. As you can see, I don't know if it's Ocon or Alonso drive straight in to Sebastian Vettel. Let's have a little look. We are going to switch it to inners, and we're going to take a risk. I can feel like the wind. I feel like the rain is starting to die down, so we're going to take a risk, go on to inners and catch up to the pack because we're going to be last anyway. We might. Oh, it was Lance Stroll, sorry, not Sebastian Vettel. We're going to take a risk, so we can pack. If the grip isn't there, we can pit again for wets and still be last and catch up. So we'll give it a go. As we come out, we do not have any grip to start off with. As we pass the safety cars, we've got a whole lap just to practice before the front runners catch the safety car.
Is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
But early faults, I do feel like the Inters might be the best tyre to be on right now. Obviously, one of the Alpines has got horrendous damage because he crashed into Stroll. Obviously, he's now pitted.
Safety car is in this lap.
I'm not sure. The safety car is coming in now. It was Ocon that pitted. He was enough ahead of us. Well, we're ahead of Ocon, but it was Ocon that drove into Lance Stroll going through the Wall of Champions. On the intermediate tyres, they're only about 2 laps old, but obviously it was under safety car conditions, so they're not that much warm than what they would be if I put them on my regular pit stop time.
Clear.
But it does feel like I've got a lot more grip than what I did have on the wets. So we looked for a move up Mazepin, but we thought better of it. This is a long race. We don't want to lose it going into turn 1. Okay, lap 13 here. We've got Mazepin and Ocon. We're in their slipstream. I'm going to try and go around the outside of the Frenchman and... Is Mazepin Russian? I want to say Russian. I'll say the Haas driver. We do get Ocon going through the Wall of Champions, and already you can see a car has started to pit. Yuki Tsunoda has pitted. We're up to P19. So it does mean that the AI's pit stop time is soon, and we are very close. We're probably about 10 seconds away from Hamilton in first place. I wouldn't mind saying that we'll be in the top 5 once everyone's pitted. As we go for a great move around Nikita Mazepin, we're going to hold on to it. That is one of the best moves I've ever done in the wet. Around the outside of Nikita Mazepin there. As you can see the replay, I fake him to the left, right, go round the outside to the left, and then obviously we have the inside lane for going into the next turning. It's a great move, and it puts us up a position into P18. We've now got Nicholas Latifi and George Russell up the road. And lap 14. And it'll be interesting to see if the next set of cars start to pit, as we are 6 tenths up in our time. We go for a dive bomb on Nicholas Latifi, and we've got so much more grip than him at the moment. It works. We managed to save the twitch on the exit of the hairpin, but our grip over Nicholas Latifi helped us make the move. As you can see, we've got an Aston Martin into the pits, an Alfa Romeo into the pits. Is that a Red Bull? No, Red Bull doesn't go in. What's a white car? Is that the Williams is in? And the Alpine driver is in. That's on lap 14, I believe that was. So that moves us up actually into P14 as we go around the outside on George Russell, the same as we did on Mazepin. Can we make this one stick? We send it up the inside. There is no contact. Russell has to give us room because he knows we have got the superior tyre and we have got the better pace. It's a bloody great move as we again go down the penultimate straight. As you can see, a few more cars are pitting. We've got a Red Bull, a McLaren, a Ferrari. You can see us moving up into the top 10. We're into the points as we set a purple sector, or purple sector 3. Okay, Lundgaard's in P8, Giovinazzi's in P9. I'm not sure if it will be long until they pit. As you can see, Hamilton is into the pit, Verstappen is into the pit. I think that's Ricciardo, or the second McLaren is into the pit. Who's that? Bottas is into the pits. There's only going to be about 4 cars ahead of us now. It is Norris, by the way. Norris is into the pits. We are into P5. Lundgaard up ahead. Alonso. I think that might be Gasly or Tsunoda. I feel like Tsunoda will be behind us. I'm not sure. I think Tsunoda will actually be ahead of us because he's already pitted, hasn't he? As Lundgaard sends it into the pit. And as you can see, it is Gasly. So we go into P4, P3, P2. Charles Leclerc is in the pit. P1. We are leading this Canadian Grand Prix. Hamilton is behind us, but I'm hoping that Verstappen starts to catch up.
You. Less than a second separate you. They're on fresh inters. Their tyres are 1 lap old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 22.9.
Okay, we're managing to keep Hamilton at bay at the moment as we go into the hairpin on turn at lap 18. I think Leclerc has just overtaken Hamilton. Verstappen's moved down to 4th. Perez is in 5th. Let's have a little replay of the perspective of the cars behind us. As you can see, Leclerc goes up the inside of both the Red Bull and the Mercedes driver. This is exactly, if these 3 continue to fight, we have got a very good chance of winning this Grand Prix. Because again, on the next lap, lap 19, I think as Leclerc tries to send it up the inside of our corner, but again we managed to make it stick, hold on to the move, or hold on to the position, put it into ERS down the straight, and again with no DRS, there is nothing they can do at the moment. If this was dry conditions, they would simply be able to just DRS, like train past me. As Leclerc sends it up the inside of turn 1, he has to give us room as we take the inside of the next corner, and again we hold on to position. Hamilton overtakes Charles Leclerc this time. Verstappen is down in 4th, Perez 5th. Okay, on to lap 21 now. Hamilton is in 2nd, Leclerc 3rd. We do just set the best lap we've done all race, as I really feel like the tyres are working well currently. So we're going to show you, I think, a full lap here and just quite explain how we're staying ahead of cars that are so more superiorly fast than us. Hamilton's about 4 tenths slow, well, 4 tenths behind us going through the first sector. Obviously no one's going to make a move through there. We get to the first DRS straight where I deploy some ERS. Again, there's no DRS, so he can't catch up. You can't make a move through there. As long as we get a good exit out of that corner, I deploy a little bit of DRS going into the hairpin. He'll normally get around 1-2 tenths on me into the hairpin. If we position our car well enough, they can't send it up the hairpin as we go green to sector 2 as well. We get onto the final straight after the hairpin and we're about 5 tenths up, and again we deployed more ERS going down that straight, and because there's no DRS they can't catch, he's not catching up. We have to be brave through the wall of champions every single time. Just get so, well, we don't get that close to the wall because it's in wet. If we do lose it we'll spank into the wall, but again that's another fastest lap, 5 tenths up on our best lap, and our pit window is open. We're on to the next lap here, and you can see that how much the cars behind us are fighting. There's Leclerc and Hamilton going side by side through one of the corners, and you lose so much time, especially if, like me for example, I'm driving on my own in clear air. Let's have a little pit stop. Can we have a good stop here? A 2.7 pit stop, and we're back underway. We dropped to P8. As you can see, Lundgaard is P7 currently.
Okay, stay clear of the
Hamilton
white
and
line on the
Perez
exit.
pit behind
Receive
me.
a penalty for dangerous driving if you
Russell's
cross
up
over
to
into the track.
P9. Will we get out ahead of Russell? I'm not sure. Let's have a look at the replay on the following lap. You can see you've got the Red Bull and the Mercedes side by side. We go round the outside of the Hamilton on the outside lane, and again we managed to stick in provisional pole. Again, you can see a little twitch from our wheel, like we are struggling in these wet conditions. Hamilton tries to make a move up the outside of us in sector 1, but we position our car very, very well. And a massive train behind us now, but they cannot make that overtake work. I think Verstappen and Leclerc are fighting in P2, P3 and 4 now. Is that Leclerc and Perez, or Verstappen fighting? I'm not sure where Hamilton is. I think he's a little bit further up the road right behind us. But with all these cars fighting, we are keeping our chances of a podium very, very high right now. The yellow flag has come out. I believe this is for Max Verstappen, as you saw Perez drive past him. One of the Red Bull drivers is out of the Canadian Grand Prix. That's one less car that can beat us at the end of this race. Tyre wear is alright. We're fine. Leclerc is now in P2. Like I say,
You're leading the pack. P1. Leclerc is behind you. Less than a second separate you. They're on old inters. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Just 3 laps to go now. 3 laps.
And we're on to our penultimate lap. Can we keep the Ferrari, the Mercedes, the Red Bull and the McLarens behind us? 2 laps to do it. Just gonna. I was thinking that this was too easy, this race, but we are on my difficulty. I do race on 101. I was thinking the AI wasn't being aggressive enough to get past me, but I think I've simply just done a good race. I've positioned the car really well. As you can see here, like just round the outside, get a better traction going down to straight, deploy the ERS, and I'm away again. And the fact that the Ferrari and the Mercedes are fighting, they don't stand a chance to overtake. They need to work together, and obviously they're not going to work together. As we go through the Wall of Champions, second to last time, we almost lose it, and we're on to
This is your final lap, final lap of the race.
Set a purple sector 3 and 4 attempts down on our quickest lap. With a lap to go, these are worn intermediate tyres.
The car behind is dropping back by about 3/10 a lap.
Leclerc's got to try and make up on us. As we get through sector 1 nicely. We set a green sector 1. Try and... Oh, careful, easy on the power. We almost lose it going down the DRS straight. Leclerc also doesn't get a great exit, otherwise he probably would have overtaken me there. We position the car nicely going into this corner here. We get a good exit. We're going to deploy a little bit of ERS potentially. You can see the replay here. This is the final lap. And Matt Hamilton goes for a move on Charles Leclerc that allows me to pull away a good little gap of time. This is why I probably didn't deploy that ERS that I mentioned. We are now a second ahead of Hamilton in P2. Going round the hairpin, I think we're going to win. We are going to win the Canadian Grand Prix, the fifth race of South Blues Racing's career, and we're going to win a race simply because of strategy, pace, and positioning the car well. Obviously, I have to thank the fact that it's raining because there's no DRS for the cars to overtake. But we win the Canadian Grand Prix.
Jeff, I want my pizza, Jeff.
Great job, you've done everything we wanted today.
Well, that might not have been the finest race in history, but there's no
Couldn't
question
expect
it
a
was
better
a
race
critical
than that.
win. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Rain always has the potential to liven up a race and mix
that
up the order, and they've taken full advantage of that to claim the victory today. It's always a bit of a lottery when the conditions are like this, but they've managed to stay on circuit and have come out on top.
The faces on our top
We're
three
on
look
the
so
podium.
incredibly
We're
happy
on the
as they
podium.
make their
We've
way up to
won
the podium.
the race.
A much-deserved victory
Not
and
many
a brilliant
people get to
performance
say
from them
they've
all.
won an F1 race.
It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
I'm going to give it to the owner-driver today. They fought so hard and had incredible pace at times, so I don't think anyone else did a better job today.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. It was also a strong Grand Prix from Haas F1 this weekend. Fantastic work from the American team to move themselves further up the table. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.